Cast away to these island retreats, we could all do with escaping reality sometimes, and where better to do it than on your very own island? And private islands aren't just for the super rich either. From simple log cabins and rustic lakeside lodges to luxurious but reasonable waterside retreats, we've sought out some spectacular places perfect for casting yourself away to for a few carefree days or weeks. Picnic Island, Tasmania, Australia. Owner Clem Newton-Brown originally bought this uninhabited island near Wineglass Bay and Freycinet National Park as a camping spot for his family. He since created a gorgeous eco-lodge, designed by local architect John Latham using local materials to blend in with the striking scenery. He wanted it to reflect the Tassie waterfront shack culture, he says, in a simple but stylish way. And it certainly does. Lodgings are in copper-clad wooden huts, twin or king-size bedrooms inside. They're chic in an understated way with spectacular views across the water to Hazard's mountain range. Up to 10 people can stay on Picnic Island, and it's largely only available for exclusive hire from $1,146, £866 per night. It's a fabulous place to retreat to with a group of friends or family for a few memorable days enjoying life's simple pleasures. You are not quite the only residents here, however, as the island is home to hundreds of penguins and shearwater burrows. Nighttime trips to see the birds return to feed their chicks is a must. Keep your eyes on the water in the daytime too, and you may well spot a passing whale. Picnic Island has a fascinating history. It was originally granted to early settler Captain Robert Hepburn in 1829 when he arrived from Edinburgh with his family. He set up a whaling station on the mainland and sent his convicts to the island to cut sandstone when the whales weren't running. A pick-marked sandstone block discovered by Clem now sits as a hearth underneath the suspended fireplace in the striking glass-walled living room. Island Lodge, Sweden. With a one-group-at-a-time policy, you are guaranteed utter seclusion at this tranquil eco-camp on a tiny island in the Stockholm archipelago. Kerosene lamps and wood-burning stoves are the only light in the camp, and showers are outdoors. It's very much a back-to-nature experience with a few lavish touches thrown in. It's only 40 minutes by boat from central Stockholm, but you'll feel a world away as you wander around the isolated isle. Guests sleep in one of 7 twin-bed tents that are dotted around the birch and pine tree forests by the water. These are no ordinary tents, however. They're very roomy with real beds made up with luxurious linens. Wood-burning stoves and reindeer rugs complete the cozy scene. Go foraging for blueberries or mushroom picking, if in season, or join your friends in the wood-fired hot tub or floating sauna. Guests convene in the evening to sit down together for a gourmet barbecue, Scandinavian style, in the communal dining tent cooked by the island's chef Liz. Lake Cocibolca, Nicaragua. Hang out in a hammock by day, gazing across the watery horizon towards Mambaca volcano at this tropical Airbnb retreat. Set on a tiny island on Nicaragua's vast Lake Cocibolca, just 15 minutes away from buzzy Granada by boat, the house sleeps up to 16 people. It's a brilliant place to maroon yourself with friends for a week with its lovely pool and games room. And best of all, there's no need to worry about annoying the neighbors. The vibe here is seriously laid back, but if you can muster the energy to leave your perch, go kayaking around your patch of Lake Cocibolca. Then you can drift back to laze by the pool with a Macua, Nicaragua's signature white rum and guava juice cocktail, in hand as you watch the sunset behind Mambaca, smug in the knowledge that you have seen a little more of this piece of paradise. Plus, it's a steal with prices starting from $265, £201 a night. Hotel Odisej Mljet, Croatia. It's not strictly your very own private island, but Mljet, Dalmatia's most southerly isle, is virtually yours. Hotel Odisej Mljet is the only hotel on this island, which is around 70% carpeted in pristine pine forest and feels far away from Dalmatia's busy island hopping routes. The gorgeous hotel sits on the northwest side of Mljet on pretty Pamena Bay and has rooms from around $60, £45 per night. After you disembark the boat or car ferry from Dubrovnik, it's a 2-hour journey. Make for the hotel's lovely shaded beach bar for a cooling drink while you watch the little yachts and boats come and go. As the sun sets and the day trippers leave, it's a wonderful spot to absorb the serenity of the lush little island. There's plenty to see and do here too though. Mljet's 2 saltwater lakes, Malo and Veliko Jezero, within the national park are well worth the hike. And ask the hotel to arrange a boat trip to Ulysses Cave, where legend has it the Greek hero was held captive for 7 years by the nymph Calypso after being shipwrecked. There are worse places to be stuck, that's for sure. Batholmen, Hvaler Archipelago, Norway. 1 small island, 1 small boat, and 1 small shack. Live a simple life for a few days, or longer, at this teeny off-grid isle not far from Oslo from just $240 £182 per night. There's a 10% discount for stays of 7 days or more. The bijou rust red wooden cabin sleeps 4 people at a squeeze. It's best for a romantic escape or close-knit family adventure. The toilet is an outhouse and there's no running water, but drinking water is free from the local grocery store just a short boat ride away. This is a place to switch off, de-stress and embrace the quiet. If you're worried about being totally uncontactable, however, phones can be charged by a 12-volt solar-powered generator. But it's unlikely you'll want to be interrupted as you explore the rocky island. Swim from the little beach or go about the archipelago by boat. Evenings are all about board games by candlelight and cooking up a simple feast in the small but serviceable kitchen or fire pit outside. Rusinga Island Lodge, Kenya. This charming lodge on Rusinga Island in Kenya's northeast section of vast Lake Victoria is the perfect place to relax after a thrilling few days on safari. It's remote and hard to get to, but guests that make the effort are well rewarded. You'll sleep soundly in your own thatched roof cottage, which are all elegantly decked out, and dine on delicious home-cooked food from $370 £290 per person per night. It's all about the recuperation and relaxation here, so curl up with a book, pamper yourself in the spa, have a dip in the pool, or find a sunny spot in the verdant gardens or beach. Rest it up, then try your hand at fishing for Nile perch in the lake or tilapia from the jetty. The bird watching is something else here too, with egrets, cormorants and gannets and fish eagles common sightings in the area. Scilly Island, Gloucestershire, England. It might not be especially remote, but you probably can't imagine a more romantic getaway than this picture-perfect cottage in the Cotswolds village of South Cerney. Set on a tiny triangular island with a millstream on one side and the gurgling river churn on the other, you access your little retreat by a little hub bridge. It's hard to believe this charming abode started out as something as prosaic as a storehouse for the cart of the neighboring mill's horse. For inside the 18th century stone building, it's an utterly enchanting scene, all mismatched mix of vintage finds, rustic upcycled items and statement design pieces. Hope for good weather though, as the gardens of this tranquil hideaway are idyllic too. The tip of the island has dreamy views up the river towards the village of South Cerney and beyond. Dangle your feet into the water, play a lazy game of poo sticks or simply spread out a picnic rug and get stuck into a feast of some local goodies, all from $692 £525 per week. The Hermit Cottage, Åland Islands, Finland. If it's a sea-swept hideaway you're after, then make for the Åland Archipelago, a swath of around 6,500 largely uninhabited isles in the North Baltic Sea. This is where the Swedes and Finns come to fish, kayak, sail, swim, let off steam and saunas and generally disappear from reality as they spend the summer in simple log cabins. One such place is Hermit Cottage on Svisker Island, with rooms from $217 £165 per person per night. Book a stay on this rocky island and you'll be dropped off by boat, given fresh water and firewood, then left to enjoy the peaceful serenity. It's part of the Silverskar Islands, a group of 3 in the northern archipelago that are available individually for exclusive hire. Svisker's little fisherman-style cabin is the simplest of them all, but shouldn't you tire of stovetop cooking, you can have gourmet meals cooked by the chef on Silverskar Island and, literally, shipped in by speedboat. The Harry Lemon Island and Eco Lodge, Uganda. Whether you glamp, camp, sleep in a dormitory or rent abandonas, thatched roof cottages, you won't be disappointed by this bright and breezy eco-escape on Uganda's upper part of the River Nile. From the moment you arrive by wooden canoe, you'll want to lose yourself for days in the stunning surroundings at this remote, family-run lodge. Covering 12 islands in total, there's lots to explore on the archipelago and beyond. You can go horse riding along the banks of the River Nile, rafting and kayaking. The Nile Special Rapid is just a short paddle away from the lodge's front beach, or stand-up paddleboarding lessons can be arranged. But the laid-back lodge is a lovely place to while away the hours too, with numerous spots for chatting and chilling out with fellow guests. Full-board camping starts from $35, £26 per person per night, and full-board cabins from $42, £32 per person per night. Islay and Shona, Argyll, Scotland, tucked into Loch Moidart just off the west coast of Scotland. Islay and Shona has serious island hideaway credentials. After all, it's widely believed to have inspired J.M. Barrie's vision of Neverland. The author wrote the screenplay for Peter Pan while staying here. It's easy to see why it so captured his imagination. The rocky isle is just 2.5 miles long by 1.5 wide, but home to an array of wildlife and seriously magical scenery. Large groups can commandeer the main house $1,980, £1,500 per night, a former hunting lodge which sleeps up to 20, or there's a cluster of quaint cottages, sleeping between 2 to 8. They're mostly on the southeast corner of the island, with stunning views of the loch and Castle Teorem ruins on the mainland, and stylish interiors. You're unlikely to see fellow guests though, apart from perhaps at the little village shop when it opens twice a week. Look out for its tasty fish pie and venison casserole. There are no cars here. Guests leave them on the mainland before hopping on the ferry over. This is an island for on-foot adventures, so pack a picnic and spend your days exploring the network of secluded paths that wind through acres of ancient woodland, looking out for shy red squirrels, and over the heather-covered hills where you may well spy deer. Go crabbing in the tiny islets and coves that dot on the craggy coastline, keeping watch for seals, otters and sea eagles. It'll take you a good 6 hours to walk the entire circumference of the island, or you could do it in 2 to 3 hours by sea kayak. Should you feel the unlikely urge to get back to reality for a few hours, there's a free ferry to the mainland every Wednesday, which departs at 9 a.m. and returns at 5 p.m. Deepwater Island, Ontario, Canada. Privacy and peace are guaranteed at this couple's only island retreat in Ontario's gorgeous Georgian Bay. Surrounded by the Massasauga Provincial Park, it's a mere speck among hundreds of islands, but once you've found the place you won't want to leave. But should you have the urge, a kayak and 2 canoes are yours to use during your stay. Enjoy 360-degree views of the water from the pretty clapboard cottage, which is surprisingly roomy with a fantastic kitchen and grand dining room. Take your pick from its 2 outdoor deck areas to sit down for breakfast, lunch, dinner and sunset drinks. Should it get chilly, you can curl up by the granite fireplace inside or make use of the fire pit instead, toasting marshmallows as you gaze at the water and stars. Prices are from $300, £228 per night. Île de Chenimsel, Île de France, France. This pretty little islet on a leafy stretch of the River Seine, just 30 miles northwest of Paris, is home to 2 charming villas that can be hired by groups through Private Island Specialist Vladi Private Islands. So round up some friends and family, stock up on delicious produce from the local markets and retreat to this secluded island for a French escape with a difference. Once you've docked here, there's really no need to leave. You could easily spend days riding around on bikes, playing ball games on the lush lawn, lazing by the riverbank watching the passing boats, or playing a game on the tennis court. But should you wish to see more of the region, you can borrow one of the motorboats and head downriver. There are some gorgeous sleepy villages to explore. The island is wedged between the Vafoil and La Roche-Guyon. Rates start from $6,200, £4,700 per week for up to 12 people. Cabin, near Cocibolca, Sweden, make like the Swedish and retreat to an isolated cabin for a summer of simple serenity in the great outdoors. Scandinavian tour operator Simply Sweden's Escape, Swedish-style break offers the genuine experience, a 2-night stay on a secret island somewhere in mid-Sweden followed by 2 nights in a lovely rural B&B in Stellben. You'll take a train from Stockholm to Cocibolca before being whisked away by boat by your hosts to this idyllic private island on a lake. The gorgeous red timber cabin and wooded owl will be all yours for your stay. There's no Wi-Fi or TV and just a small amount of running water, so ditch the shower for the lake instead. This is the place to switch off and do as the Swedes would do, go canoeing, fishing and swimming in the lake, swimwear optional. It might be rural and remote, but that doesn't mean you need to compromise on style. You are in Sweden after all. The small but oh so chic cabin is light, airy and beautifully decorated. You are not totally left to fend for yourself though. You'll find a selection of recipes and a bundle of delicious organic produce that you can cook up in the well-equipped kitchen. Simply Sweden's Escape breaks are available from May to October and package prices are from $1,960, £1,490 per adult or $870, £660 per child.